Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a quick and easy furniture makeover. This is a great video for someone who wants to start getting into flipping furniture or is interested in giving their own pieces of furniture some new life to go with maybe their new home decor. I hope that you get inspired to do something with a piece that you have in your house, or if you want to flip it. So we're going to get started. I did find these at the thrift store and I got the pair for $45. I am just going to be painting these. I am not going to be stripping anything, which is why I said this is great for beginners. So what I like to do is, if I know I'm going to be painting a piece, I give the piece a good scuff sand. Now, if you're using chalk paint, it's not necessary, but I still like to include this step because it does just help give the paint a little something to grip onto, instead of just that sealer top coat that's on these pieces to begin with. So I give this a good scuff sand. I'm just using, I think here it's just 180 grit. I normally do 220, but I didn't have any with this detail sander. I will link this detail sander in my description box. I love this detail sander. I use it all the time and I always get questions about it. It's not an affiliate link. It's something I got for my birthday from my husband and I love it. So I will share it with you. So once it is fully scuff sanded, I do clean these pieces. It is very important to clean your pieces. I'm just using warm water and the Palmolive, everyday house cleaner. I'm not using anything fancy. This does a great job. So I make sure that I give it a good clean. I want to get rid of all of the sand, the sand dust particles and any other grease and grime that's on these pieces. They did come from the thrift store, but I don't know where they were beforehand. And I'm also going to make sure that I give the drawers a good clean as well. Thankfully, this piece is in very good condition, so I do not have to do too much in regards to prepping this piece. There are a couple areas on the top of this piece here where I am going to just fill it in a little bit. Because I am painting, the paint will show the imperfections and the divots in it. So I did want to fill some of the bigger divots that were in this in the top of it. And again, I don't have to do a lot of prep with this piece, but the prep is very important when you are, flipping furniture, whether it's to, resell or even for your home, so that you ensure that the paint lasts longer and you get a really good finish. So once I fill in everything, I let it sit for a little bit until it's dry, and then I sand those down and I wipe it clean again. So the look I was going for here was I wanted to paint the entire piece, but I wanted to leave this cane original. I loved the color of this cane. It is that dark brown, that rich brown color that I really, really like. So I wanted to keep that. And I decided, because the cane is on all four sides, I was going to tape off those areas so I didn't get any paint on them. You don't have to do that, but I'm a messy painter, so I didn't want to have to be careful. And this resin paint, it is by Rethunk Junk. I have never used this paint before, but the store where my booth is, they do sell this paint, so I decided to give it a try. Never used it before, so I'm doing it with you for the first time. It is a resin paint, so there is a sealer built into it, but they do recommend sealing any horizontal pieces of furniture that you have. So like the very top piece of these tabletops, and if you had a dresser, the top piece of the dresser, they do recommend sealing with an extra sealer, but everything else will harden because it has resin in it. So I did the first coat, and I wasn't going for full coverage because it is the first coat. It did go on very well. You could see areas where it didn't have the full coverage, which is expected on the first, coat anyways. But I really did like how it adhered to the piece, how it brushed on, when it dried, it dried very satin, but matte at the same time. It had a very nice finish to it. So I gave it one coat. The great thing about this paint is that it dries within 20 or 30 minutes. So I was able to do the second coat the same night, which is great because, again, if you're flipping furniture, the less time you have to spend on a piece, the better. And even for yourself, if you don't have a lot of time, this is a great paint to use. Again, I am not sponsored by this paint at all or any of the products in this video. I'm just sharing my experiences with you as I am trying this paint for the first time. For the tops of these end tables, I am using a roller. I like to use rollers for horizontal pieces or large surface areas on furniture pieces because it does help eliminate brush strokes and it applies a lot easier and faster in my opinion. So I did one coat and again I let it sit and I did the second coat. It did dry down very smooth and it did not show streaks from the roller or anything, so I was very happy with that. However, after a few days I wasn't as happy with the top as I thought it was. So in between the two coats, I did do a light scuff sand. I'm using 320 grit just to knock down some of the raised areas. When I ran my hand across it, I could feel it was kind of bumpy. And I think it was because of the roller. So I wanted to smooth that out. Once I did the second coat, I did the same thing and it was very nice and smooth. So if you have any raised areas like that, do a light scuff sand, and when you apply your second coat, it'll be nice and smooth. So here I'm showing you the second coat. While I'm showing you that, after I let it sit for a few days, before I put the poly coat on top of, on the top of these end tables, I noticed that like when I would rub my hand across it, you could see the streaks from my hand rubbing across it, kind of like not like grease or oils or anything. It looked like I was like dragging some of the paint across the top and I couldn't wipe it down properly. It was I don't know how to explain it and I forgot to get a video like clip of it. I don't know if it was because I used this color, like such a dark color. Um, I'm not sure because like when I would rub my hand on the sides, I didn't have the same experience. But I wiped it down really well with water. I let it dry and then I decided, okay, this is my chance to seal it. So I'm using polyacrylic by Minwax. It's water based and I add a little bit of the black paint to the polyacrylic. I added a little bit too much here, but it's okay. I do that on the darker pieces because it helps to eliminate any streaks and the clear streaks that you would get from polyacrylic on dark surfaces. It helps to mask that. So I apply it with this soft bristle brush instead of a sponge brush. I really like this brush. I just started using it on my last project and it helps. You don't get any of like the bubbles that you can get with using a sponge brush. It went on very smooth, no streaks from the brush. I really, really liked it. I cannot remember if I got it at Lowe's or if I got it at Harbor Freight, but it is a soft bristle brush and on it it said that it was good for top coats. So if you're looking for one, look for one that says it's good for top coats and it is soft bristle. So I only did one coat of the polyacrylic on the top of these because it already does have that built-in sealer and I just wanted the polyacrylic to have that one, that extra layer of protection and also to seal in whatever was going on when I was rubbing my hand across. And once I sealed it with the polyacrylic and I rubbed my hand across, none of those streaks from my hand you could see anymore. So I'm not sure what was going on with that. I do want to try this paint again and I want to try a different color and see if I get the same results. So I will let you know. You guys stay tuned. But I do want to let you know I'm about to share the final product with you. And afterwards, I am showing you clips of my booth. I brought them down this weekend to fill the void where my hutch is. I do have another big piece that I'm working on in my house right now that I will be bringing down to my booth, but I needed to get something in there in the meantime. So I hope you guys enjoy, and definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please let me know in the comments what you guys think of my booth space, what you think of, this, would you be interested in trying this paint, or what you think of these end tables, or just say hi in the comments. I'm good with that too. I hope that it inspired you to maybe try flipping a piece of furniture that you've had in your house for a while that you've been wanting to give a makeover to, or maybe you find something at the thrift store, a small little piece to try, or you find something on the side of the road, because that's great too. But if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. And next week's video will be a scrap wood DIY video. So I will see you all next week. Bye guys.